Hello, my witchlets. Today we are going to make Nomato Sauce, meaning no tomatoes in it. There's actually no nightshades in it at all, and if you have trouble with nightshades, this would be a great substitute for anything that's going to require tomato sauce or tomato paste or something like that. So what you need for this basic recipe, which I will link to in the description below because I got it from a website that is not mine. So what you need for this recipe is you will need 1 medium red beet peeled, an onion, 3 stalks of celery. That's what I call them. Other people call them ribs. I don't know. 3 ribs. Anyway, 6 carrots peeled, and a 1/4 cup of basil, bay leaf, 3 cloves of garlic, 1.5 cups of water, and 2 tablespoons of a cooking fat of your choice. I'm using coconut oil for today's adventure. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut everything up, put it into the water, and simmer it for 30 minutes. It's really boring. And then you puree everything, and then we'll move to the next phase. I just wanna say, it's super hot today. And I don't mean like sexy, crazy hot. I mean, I'm dying. All right, my witchlets. Now it's time to saute our onions and our celery. So I'm gonna do that. I've got, so we're actually tripling this recipe because there's something I'm gonna do with it. And we need to have a lot more than the recipe makes. The recipe actually makes about 3.5 cups worth of Nomato sauce, which now I'm sure you all are curious what it is I'm making with more than 3.5 cups of Nomato sauce. So, well, you'll just have to find out, won't you? Subscribe to the channel and you'll get a notification for when that video comes up. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start. We've got a lot of coconut oil in here to help saute up the vegetables. So we have onions and celery that are gonna go in here right now. Just like that. And it'll take approximately 5 minutes to saute these 2 translucent, which is what you're looking for. Which means I have 5 minutes to talk to you about nothing in particular, which is really how this channel works. I mean, I don't know if you've actually seen all of my videos. I talk to you a lot about things of nothing in particular. So I asked cameraman Ken earlier. Well, actually, I told cameraman Ken earlier that I was going to ask you guys who your favorite horror villain is. What I asked cameraman Ken is if he knew who mine was. I'm not a huge horror movie fan. Like, Freddy Krueger, okay. Jason, eh. I don't like the movies just because they're boring, they're predictable, and it's blood for blood's sake. Not my thing. Doesn't bother me, just not my thing. It's just like, why? Cabin in the Woods? Like Cabin in the Woods. That's a good one. But my favorite horror movie villain, ready for this? Buffalo Bill. Because what other horror movie villain has an amazing theme song? It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Yes, it does, precious. Yeah, come on. Ooh. Probably not the best villain to be talking about while I'm sauteing vegetables in coconut oil. You hope. Anyway. I know 5 minutes can't come fast enough, right? This is the longest 5 minutes of your life. So that also means that I had to double, triple, quadruple, whatever it is we're doing with the recipe. The garlic, I know, I'm so disappointed. So I have cameraman Ken working on peeling the garlic for me. All right. So basically, you let that saute for normally 5 minutes. It's probably going to take a little longer, so I'll come back in a few minutes. But then you're going to add your carrots and your beets. Actually, no, you're going to add your garlic and let that go for about a minute till it's Aromatic is the word I was looking for. That's the universal symbol for aromatic. I am so sorry, people who actually use ASL. My ASL is crap. I know a little, but I'm not good. Anyway, so we'll come back in a bit here because this does need to saute, and it's going to take a little bit since I am tripling the recipe. But you're going to add your garlic. You're going to let that get fragrant for about a minute, and then you're going to add your carrots and your beets and stir all that around. Add your salt and any seasonings that you want to add. I'm only going to put oregano in this because that's what I did last time and it worked perfectly. And then we're going to add our water, our bay leaves, and go from there. You will have a period of simmering it. It's about 25 minutes. It's until the vegetables are soft. So you want to make sure that you're constantly checking to make sure that you don't run out of water. Because if you run out of water, you're going to be a very sad panda. Ask me how I know. It's okay. Anyway, so I will come back in just a little bit and continue on with our recipe. All right, so we're back now. My onions are not as translucent as my celery, but everything seems to be doing well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on. So next up, we're going to add our garlic. I'm not chopping it, I'm not mincing it, I'm not doing anything with it, because basically this is we're gonna cook this for about a minute until it's fragrant. And then once we add everything else, it simmers for 25 minutes, which means that the garlic itself is gonna soften a good deal. It's gonna be super mushy, super delicious. And rather than use minced garlic that's not gonna have that same type of flavor, I'm just gonna use the whole clove because this all gets blended when we're done anyway, because it's supposed to be a smooth sauce. So I've added my garlic. I'm stirring to keep it from sticking, which is not going to be a problem because there is a lot of oil in here. So it's fairly fragrant. Next, carrots and beets. Like I said, we're tripling the recipe, so I have a lot more than you will for all of this. So what you're going to do is you are going to stir everything around. You want to try to coat as much of the carrots and beets as you can with whatever oil is remaining in here. If your cooking fat is not completely absorbed by your onions and your celery, try to get your other vegetables covered as much as possible. It'll prevent them from sticking together, from sticking to the pot, all of that. Plus it's just tasty, tasty fats. All right, so then at this point, you would add your 1.5 cups of water. Again, I have more than that. So that's my water. And you'll also want to add any spices that you want to add. So you'll need salt because otherwise this is going to be really bland. The salt will bring out the sweetness of the beets and the carrots. And you'll want to add your pepper as well. Why do I have this pepper shaker? Where's my other one? Where's my good one? Where's my good pepper shaker?
I get it.
Fine. And I'm going to add oregano. I measure oregano with my heart. Pretty much, you know, like all spices, I measure with my heart. That's a good amount. Okay, that'll work, I suppose. I was looking for my pepper grinder, but I was like, I have another pepper grinder. This pepper grinder is better. Haha, there we go. We're actually getting pepper out of it. That's helpful. Trying to grind pepper, you need pepper to come out. So, again, like medieval cooking, you go until it is enough. If I weren't doing this nightshade free, I would probably add a light hot sauce to it just to give it a kick. But we're working on the premise of nightshades are bad, and they are not pre-Columbian for the most part. So, all right. So we got our spices in here. We've got everything stirred together. You, if you're making a normal size batch, will use 1 bay leaf. I'll use 5.
They're small.
They're small. But anyway, this batch is not though. So that's pretty much what you do. You bring this to a simmer, and then you cover it and you let it simmer for approximately 25 minutes, stirring occasionally, and that is so that you can check the level of your water. If you find that your water is running out, add some more. If you find that you have burned everything to the bottom, I'm sorry, you must start over. It's, you know, this is where it becomes more of an art than a science, but scientifically speaking, the water is what's going to help mush all of the vegetables together so that when you go to blend it in 25 to 30 minutes or so, you can get a nice smooth texture for your base sauce. This sauce can be used as a marinara sauce, as a pizza sauce, as a tomato paste substitute. There are many applications for it, and I'm really excited to show you what I plan on using this large batch of Nomato sauce for. So that'll be in a future video. You'll want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you ring the notification bell so that you will know when that video drops. Alrighty, so we'll be back in just a few moments. Alright, we're back. We have simmering vegetables. You can see it's very red looking because of the beets. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to add, I know I said that you needed a 1/4 cup, that was for the original recipe, so we're going to add all of this basil here. And this needs to cook for about 5 minutes, and then we can start the process of pureeing all of this down into a sauce. It's very colorful. Now, you want to make sure that before you puree it that you remove all of your bay leaves. If you're doing a massive batch like I'm doing, I've got about 5 bay leaves in here and I've got to find them all. Bay leaves, they're very difficult to chew, and you want to just make sure that you get them all out so that you don't end up choking on them or whatever. So we're going to let our basil cook in there for about 5 minutes, then we'll start dividing this out. Now you can either use an immersion blender, which is probably what I'm going to show you how to do, or you can use just a regular blender. Because this is such a large batch, I'm probably going to do both just to make sure that I have it all pureed into a liquid form, which is what you need when you're making a sauce like this. So I'll be back in a few minutes and we'll get this pureed out and finish things off. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we are going to blend all of this either with a stick blender if that is your preference, or you can use a regular blender if that is your preference. Regardless, it's going to be super loud, so I'm going to do this off camera and come back with a beautiful puree. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be magnificent. All right, here we are. What we have here are 2 quart-sized jars of Nomato sauce. As you can see, it's very red. It's exactly what you're looking for as far as like you want to use it as a substitute for marinara or for pizza sauce or something like that. This is the consistency and the color that you're going for. Notice how this is more red than the other one that I made. That's very exciting to me because the other one I made was delicious. That means this is probably going to be even better. But we're saving this part back for another recipe, another video, so you want to make sure that you have liked, subscribed, and rung the notification bell on this video so that you can be notified for when the next one comes out that shows you a way that you can use the Nomato sauce. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that would ruin the surprise. It would really ruin the surprise. You think I should tell him, cameraman Ken, what I'm going to make with this?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So, cameraman Ken agrees. You need to just subscribe and ring the notification bell. Head over to Patreon. Check me out over there, www.patreon.com/KWOS, and we will see you next time.